Welcome to our journey through the fascinating history of India, a land of diverse cultures, languages, and traditions. In this video, we'll explore the milestones that shaped this incredible country. Our story begins around 2500 BCE with one of the world's oldest civilizations, the Indus Valley Civilization. Located in present-day Pakistan and northwest India, it was known for its advanced urban planning. Cities like Mohenjo-daro and Harappa had sophisticated drainage systems, grid-like streets, and impressive architecture. The people engaged in trade, using a script that remains undeciphered to this day. They crafted beautiful pottery, jewelry, and seals, and their society was remarkably organized. The Indus Valley people were skilled artisans, creating intricate beadwork, ceramics, and metallurgical products. They engaged in long-distance trade with Mesopotamia, exchanging goods like cotton textiles, lapis lazuli, and other commodities. Their social structure appeared egalitarian, with no apparent palaces or royal tombs, suggesting a society without stark class divisions. As the Indus Valley Civilization declined, the Vedic period emerged. This era saw the migration of Indo-Aryan people who composed the Vedas, the oldest sacred texts of Hinduism. The Rigveda, Samaveda, Yajurveda, and Atharvaveda laid the foundations of Indian culture, including the caste system and early forms of Hindu philosophy. The Vedic society was primarily pastoral and agrarian. The caste system, or Varna system, began to take shape during this period, dividing society into four main groups: Brahmins, priests; Kshatriyas, warriors; Vaishyas, traders; and Shudras, laborers. The religious practices involved elaborate rituals and sacrifices conducted by the Brahmins. The later Vedic period, around 1000 BCE, saw the rise of powerful kingdoms or Janapadas. The epics Mahabharata and Ramayana, composed during this time, reflect the social, political, and religious life of the period. The Mahabharata, with its Bhagavad Gita section, addresses profound philosophical questions and remains a central text in Hindu philosophy. By 600 BCE, India was divided into 16 Mahajanapadas, or great kingdoms. This period saw the rise of two major religions: Buddhism, founded by Siddhartha Gautama, known as the Buddha, and Jainism, founded by Mahavira. Both religions emphasized nonviolence, self-discipline, and the pursuit of spiritual enlightenment. Among these Mahajanapadas, Magadha, Kosala, and Vats were particularly powerful. The rulers of Magadha, such as Bimbisara and his son Ajatashatru, expanded their territory through alliances and conquests. The fortified cities, well-maintained roads, and administrative efficiency contributed to their dominance. The teachings of Buddha and Mahavira gained popularity as they challenged the rituals and hierarchical order of the Vedic religion. Buddhism spread rapidly across the Indian subcontinent and beyond, thanks to the support of rulers like Ashoka the Great in later periods. Jainism also spread widely, particularly in western and southern India. In 322 BCE, Chandragupta Maurya founded the Maurya Empire, unifying most of the Indian subcontinent for the first time. His advisor, Chanakya, wrote the Arthashastra, an ancient treatise on statecraft, economic policy, and military strategy. Chandragupta's grandson, Ashoka the Great, initially expanded the empire through conquest but later embraced Buddhism after the bloody Kalinga War. Ashoka spread Buddhist principles of nonviolence and tolerance across Asia through edicts and missions. The Mauryan administration was highly organized, with a centralized bureaucracy. The empire was divided into provinces governed by royal princes or officials. The economy flourished with trade, agriculture, and standardized weights and measures. The famous Grand Trunk Road facilitated trade and communication across the empire. Ashoka's reign marked a significant transformation in the empire's policies. His rock and pillar edicts, inscribed with his messages of Dharma, were placed throughout his realm. These edicts promoted moral and ethical behavior, welfare measures, and nonviolence. Ashoka also sent Buddhist missionaries to Sri Lanka, Southeast Asia, and Central Asia, fostering the spread of Buddhism. The Gupta Empire, beginning around 320 CE, is often referred to as the Golden Age of India. This era was marked by significant achievements in science, mathematics, astronomy, literature, and art. Scholars like Aryabhata made groundbreaking contributions to mathematics, including the concept of zero and the approximation of pi. The Gupta period also saw the creation of famous literary works such as Kalidasa's plays and poetry. The Ajanta and Ellora caves, with their intricate sculptures and frescoes, were also created during this time, reflecting the artistic excellence of the period. The Gupta administration was less centralized than the Mauryas, with local rulers enjoying considerable autonomy. This period saw a revival of Hinduism, with significant patronage of Hindu temples and rituals. The economy thrived on agriculture, trade, and urbanization, with cities like Pataliputra and Ujjain being major centers of commerce and culture. Medicine advanced significantly, with scholars like Sushruta and Charaka making notable contributions to surgery and medical treatments. The arts flourished with the development of classical Sanskrit literature, music, and dance. The Gupta dynasty also encouraged education, with institutions like Nalanda becoming renowned centers of learning. During the medieval period, India saw the rise and fall of many regional kingdoms. In the south, the Chola, Chera, and Pandya dynasties fostered a flourishing culture and economy. The Cholas, in particular, were known for their naval prowess and trade with Southeast Asia. Their grand temples, like the Brihadiswarar Temple, are marvels of architecture. In the north, the Rajputs emerged as powerful rulers, known for their valor and chivalry. They constructed majestic forts and palaces and patronized arts and literature. The Cholas expanded their influence through maritime trade and military expeditions, establishing dominance over parts of Southeast Asia. Their administration was highly organized, with efficient revenue collection and local self-governance through village councils. The Chola period saw significant achievements in art, architecture, and literature, with the creation of bronze sculptures and the development of Tamil literature. The Rajputs maintained their independence through alliances and military prowess, resisting the invasions of various conquerors. Their society was marked by a strong code of honor and loyalty, reflected in their epic literature and ballads. The construction of grand forts, like those in Rajasthan, and the patronage of poets and artists were significant cultural contributions of the Rajputs. The establishment of the Delhi Sultanate in 1206 marked the beginning of Muslim rule in India. The sultans introduced Persian culture, language, and administrative practices, influencing Indian society profoundly. Architectural innovations, such as the Qutub Minar and Alai Darwaza, blended Indo-Islamic styles. This period also saw the emergence of the Bhakti and Sufi movements, which emphasized devotion and mystical union with God, transcending orthodox practices. The Delhi Sultanate faced numerous challenges, including Mongol invasions and internal revolts. Despite these challenges, the sultans managed to establish a centralized administration, with a network of governors and local officials. The economy flourished with trade, agriculture, and the introduction of new crops and technologies. The Bhakti movement, with saints like Kabir and Guru Nanak, and the Sufi movement, with saints like Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti, emphasized personal devotion and social equality. These movements challenged the rigid caste system, promoted a more inclusive and spiritual approach to religion. Their poetry and teachings left a lasting impact on Indian culture and spirituality. In 1526, Babur, a descendant of Timur and Genghis Khan, founded the Mughal Empire after defeating the Sultan of Delhi at the Battle of Panipat. The Mughal Empire brought a new era of cultural and architectural grandeur. Akbar the Great, 1556 to 1605, is particularly notable for his policy of religious tolerance and administrative reforms. He established a centralized government and fostered a cultural renaissance, promoting arts, literature, and architecture. Shah Jahan, Akbar's grandson, built the Taj Mahal, an enduring symbol of love and architectural marvel. Aurangzeb, the last major Mughal ruler, expanded the empire to its greatest extent but faced significant internal and external challenges. Akbar's administration was marked by the Mansabdari system, a hierarchical ranking of officials based on their military and administrative capabilities. His policy of Salaikal, universal tolerance, promoted harmony among different religious communities. Akbar's court was a center of cultural and intellectual exchange, attracting scholars, artists, and musicians. Shah Jahan's reign saw the zenith of Mughal architecture, with construction of iconic structures like the Red Fort, Jama Masjid, and the Taj Mahal. These buildings showcase the Mughal style, characterized by symmetry, intricate decorations, and the use of marble and precious stones. Aurangzeb's expansionist policies stretched the empire to its limits, but also led to increased military and administrative costs. His strict adherence to Islamic orthodoxy alienated many subjects, leading to revolts and regional discontent. The Marathas, under leaders like Shivaji, emerged as a significant force, challenging Mughal dominance and contributing to the eventual decline of the empire. By the mid-18th century, the British East India Company began to dominate India, exploiting its resources and people. The Battle of Plassey in 1757 marked the beginning of British political control. The company imposed heavy taxes and disrupted traditional industries, leading to widespread poverty and famine. The Sepoy Mutiny of 1857, also known as the First War of Indian Independence, was a significant though unsuccessful uprising against British authority. This led to the dissolution of the East India Company and direct control by the British Crown. The company's rule was characterized by economic exploitation and administrative reforms. They introduced the permanent settlement system, which fixed land revenues, benefiting landlords but impoverishing peasants. The British also built an extensive railway network, facilitating the transport of goods and military troops. The 1857 rebellion was triggered by multiple factors, including grievances over economic exploitation, cultural insensitivity, and military practices. Although the rebellion was brutally suppressed, it marked the beginning of a nationalist movement seeking to end British rule. The British government took direct control of India, initiating the period known as the British Raj. Under the British Raj, India experienced profound changes. The British introduced railways, telegraphs, and a modern education system, but also exploited India's resources for their benefit. Famines, economic exploitation, and racial discrimination were rampant. The struggle for independence gained momentum in the early 20th century under the leadership of figures like Mahatma Gandhi, who championed nonviolent resistance. His Salt March and Quit India movement galvanized millions. Other leaders like Jawaharlal Nehru, Sardar Patel, and Subhas Chandra Bose played crucial roles in the fight for freedom. The British administration implemented legal and political reforms, including the Indian Councils Act and the Government of India Act, which gradually introduced limited self-governance. However, these measures were often seen as inadequate and aimed at maintaining British control. The Indian National Congress, founded in 1885, became a key platform for nationalist leaders to demand self-rule. Gandhi's philosophy of satyagraha, nonviolent resistance, inspired mass movements, challenging British authority through boycotts, civil disobedience, and non-cooperation. The Jallianwala Bagh massacre in 1919, where British troops killed hundreds of peaceful protesters, intensified the demand for independence. The struggle for independence was marked by significant events, such as the Dandi March, where Gandhi led a protest against the salt tax, and the Quit India movement, which called for immediate British withdrawal. Subhas Chandra Bose's Indian National Army sought to overthrow British rule through armed struggle, gaining support from Indian expatriates and the Axis powers during World War II. India finally gained independence on August 15, 1947. However, this triumph was marred by the tragic partition that created the separate nation of Pakistan. The partition led to widespread violence, mass migrations, and significant loss of life. Despite these challenges, India emerged as a sovereign, democratic republic with Jawaharlal Nehru as its first prime minister. The newly independent nation faced the daunting task of rebuilding and integrating its diverse population. The partition was a consequence of religious and political tensions between Hindus and Muslims, exacerbated by British policies of divide and rule. The Radcliffe Line, hastily drawn to separate India and Pakistan, led to chaotic and violent migrations. Millions of people were displaced, and communal violence resulted in the deaths of hundreds of thousands. Nehru's government focused on establishing a democratic framework, drafting a constitution that enshrined fundamental rights and laid the foundation for a secular state. The integration of princely states, land reforms, and the establishment of institutions like the Planning Commission were key priorities. Post-independence, India adopted a democratic constitution in 1950, becoming the world's largest democracy. The country embarked on a journey of economic and social development, implementing land reforms, building infrastructure, and promoting education. Leaders like Indira Gandhi, Lal Bahadur Shastri, and others navigated the young nation through various challenges, including wars, economic crises, and political upheavals. The Green Revolution in the 1960s transformed agriculture, making India self-sufficient in food production. The country also saw the rise of prominent scientists like C.V. Raman and APJ Abdul Kalam, who made significant contributions to science and technology. The Green Revolution introduced high-yielding varieties of seeds, improved irrigation, and modern agricultural practices, boosting food production and alleviating hunger. India's space program, initiated by Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, achieved milestones such as the launch of the Aryabhata satellite and the Chandrayaan and Mangalyaan missions, showcasing India's technological prowess. India's political landscape saw the rise of new parties and movements, reflecting its diverse and dynamic society. The emergency period, 1975 to 1977, under Indira Gandhi, highlighted the tensions between democratic principles and authoritarianism. Economic liberalization in 1991, led by Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao and Finance Minister Manmohan Singh, opened India's economy to global markets, spurring rapid growth and modernization. In 1991, India implemented significant economic reforms, liberalizing its economy and opening up to global markets. This spurred rapid economic growth, leading to significant advancements in technology, industry, and services. The IT industry, centered in cities like Bangalore, has made India a global technology hub. India's space missions, such as Chandrayaan and Mangalyaan, demonstrate its growing capabilities in space exploration. Socially, India has made strides in education, healthcare, and women's empowerment, although challenges remain. The liberalization policies led to an influx of foreign investment, growth in exports, and the emergence of a vibrant private sector. India's IT and software services sector became globally competitive, with companies like Infosys, TCS, and Wipro leading the charge. The rise of startups and innovation hubs contributed to India's reputation as a technological powerhouse. Social reforms and initiatives aimed at improving education, healthcare, and gender equality have made significant impacts. Programs like Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan and Beti Bachao Beti Padhao have aimed to enhance literacy and empower women. However, challenges such as poverty, inequality, and environmental sustainability continue to require attention. Today, India stands as a testament to the resilience and diversity of its people. From its ancient heritage to its modern achievements, India's story is one of continuous evolution and incredible accomplishments. Its rich cultural tapestry includes a vibrant film industry, known as Bollywood, which produces more films than any other country. Indian cuisine, with its diverse flavors and regional specialties, is beloved worldwide. Technological innovations and a young, dynamic population drive India's growth and global influence. India's cultural landscape is enriched by its festivals, music, dance, and arts, reflecting the diversity of its people. Bollywood, along with regional film industries, entertains millions and influences global culture. Indian cuisine, with dishes like biryani, dosas, and samosas, is celebrated for its rich flavors and culinary traditions. Technological advancements continue to shape India's future, with initiatives like Digital India and Make in India promoting innovation and manufacturing. The country is poised to play a significant role in addressing global challenges such as climate change, healthcare, and sustainable development. India's journey is far from over. As it moves forward, it continues to draw strength from its deep-rooted traditions while embracing modernity and innovation. The resilience, creativity, and spirit of its people ensure that India's future will be as remarkable as its past. Thank you for joining us on this comprehensive tour of India's history. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating stories from around the world.